that you? You're looking kinda weird, good buddy. What's up with the tail? Hey, wait a minute! You swallowed my lucky charm! Come back here! What's wrong with you? Something's not right. We've always been friends for years. Froggy! Wait up! Oh dear. Yoo-hoo, Froggy! Come out, wherever you are. Oh man, where could my Pollywog pal be anyway?
Alrighty then, hey, this is Wentus yet again, and welcome back to Sonic Adventure, as we are now doing the story of Big. Last time we finished up Amy's story, now it's time to move on to my least favorite character. Fun times. The reason why this guy's my least favorite character we'll get into later. I mean, he's not a bad guy, I find him more interesting, kind of, in later Sonic games. But in this one he's not that interesting, unfortunately. Oh. Press B, you do that little swat with your fishing pole. Now, if I could just talk to these guys. Also, you may notice in the stage, or rather, in the adventure stages, they're still wearing their items from previous stories, so that's a nice little touch.
Quick! We have to find the rest of the missing Chaos Emeralds! Eggman!
Okay, that doesn't really give me an idea of where we are in the story. I think this is when Sonic and Tails first met up, I want to say, so this is still pretty early on in the story. Now, you may be wondering why I'm going this way. There's two reasons for this. One, we can get into Big's mechanic. If you hold down B, he pulls out a fishing rod, and you can aim where it goes. Oh, didn't work there. Typically, if you land it in water, it's a bit buggy in the adventure stages, because it's not actually designed to be used here most of the time. Oh. I have no idea how that just worked, but I just got 5 rings. Still, I was supposed to show that you can basically go fishing. That's one of Big's, well, big mechanics. And the other reason why I'm going over here, we actually have his first item already. Lure power-up. Notice how there's no real special line for that. Use this to catch bigger fish. Big gets his first item earlier on than anyone else's, and the reason why there's no special line from the light up there is because there are multiple lure power-ups throughout this game. I believe there are 4 total. I will be showing where all of these are, of course. Now let's see what the light has to say.
There's a place somewhere in the city where you can go down into the sewer.
Into the sewer, you say? Well, let's get going then. We know a place to go down into the sewer because we went there in Sonic's story. Also, Big is one of the most awkward characters to control because he has no mobility hardly. He's slow running and he jumps awkwardly. Well, because he's so big.
Wait, don't run away. What you doing under that car? What's wrong?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Big's story, of course, is that he's chasing after his pal Froggy, who seemed to have found Chaos. And remember how it was said that he had Chaos' missing tail? Also, Big is very strong. I forgot to mention that. Because holy cow, he just lifted that car like it was nothing. So we're down here in the sewers, and yeah, Big is chasing after Froggy, who ran to Chaos, and, well, seems to have run into some trouble. Okay, is this the correct way? Yeah. So if we go up through here, we can get into this elevator. Which takes us up here, oddly enough, to Twinkle Park. Which is going to be our first action stage as Big. So if we go up through here, this must be the way Froggy went, because there's no real other ways to go down the sewer.
Twinkle Park.
Now we could do the Twinkle Circuit minigame, at least I thought we could. Apparently we can't. But we're supposed to go into Twinkle Park and try to find Froggy. So, let's do this. This is why I do not like the stages with Big. Now, as you can see there, you can see the weight, 0, I believe that's supposed to be grams? I don't know, I'm not very good with the metric system, so I don't really know how much it is. As far as fighting with Big, he can walk up to things and smack them with his fishing pole, or if you can get a good shot with your lure, you can actually hit enemies with it and destroy them. So that's a bit useful. The enemies are just... honestly, they don't really matter in this stage much. There's only really one thing we can do. See this giant pool of water? We go fishing. This is how this game works. As Big, you can move the lure around, and your goal is to catch fish, and specifically you want to catch Froggy. So your goal is to basically hit A and try not to break the line, which is what that power meter is, as you shake it back and forth and try to lure in the fish and get it close enough to Big. That is the basic goal. Oh, and I actually broke the line, so... oh yeah, I forgot, if you break the line, you lose a life. Wow, I forgot that actually works that way. Still, I'm not going to waste my time with the small fry, since it can get you a score. If you want to go for the rank B and... oh yeah, I forgot Big can't just, like, jump on enemies. You have to hit him with the fishing pole. Whatever. I'm just going to ignore that enemy, because actually I don't... yeah, they don't even throw bombs at you. They're really kind of pointless. Still, if you replay stages in this game, you can actually do the more advanced missions. And as Big, you just basically have to catch a big enough fish before you catch Froggy. But since we're just doing the main story with this, let's just go ahead and... wow, he can jump high underwater. Because that's not swimming, that's jumping. Still, I don't waste my time with the small fries. What I do always in these stages first is locate Froggy. I'm pretty sure Froggy is in this particular fish tank. There he is. We can't just grab him, of course, we have to go fishing for him. I hate this fishing mechanic, I'm not gonna lie. It is not fun to use. It is just really awkward, it is slow, it is the exact opposite of everything a Sonic game should be. So, Froggy's nearby. You can, by the way, you can press A to lure in, and you can press left and right to move the lure. I believe you can also, what's the button? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure there's another button you can use to reel things in, but I can't remember what it is now. Still, we went a bit too far away from Froggy. Unfortunately, right now our fishing options are limited. Later on we'll have a few different tricks we can do, more or less. So, looks like Froggy's way over there this time. So he moves around this tank quite a bit. So we just gotta keep fishing until we manage to catch Froggy. I'm just going to cut ahead from now on in all of these stages until I get a bite from Froggy, because honestly, Big Story is the least interesting, it has no character development whatsoever, and it's just really slow gameplay. That is why this is the only story that I actually detest going through. I'm going to go through it just to show it, just because it's actually part of the story, but I'm not doing so willingly. Well, I am, but if it were up to me, I wouldn't be doing this. So I'm going to cut ahead now. Alright, sorry about that, I almost forgot that I was recording. Alright, let him go a little bit. When he starts struggling too much, you have to let him go, otherwise he'll let go of the line. Basically, just hook Froggy, let him struggle a little bit, and reel him in, and you beat the stage. Simple as that.
Oh, now what am I gonna do?
And somehow Big immediately drops Froggy, and that's why he says that line. Sorry about that being extremely weird. I actually had to look up how it is you're supposed to hook the fish. I couldn't remember how to catch the fish. You can see I don't like these stages much.
Welcome to Twinkle Park.
So yes, Froggy got away. We managed to do that. I believe now we're able... yeah, we can go into the Twinkle Circuit now, but we have no real reason to go there. So, honestly, I want to get through Big Story as fast as possible, so let's keep moving. And here we get our appearance of Cream for Big Story. She just kind of flies out of nowhere there. Actually, we get a really good view of her as Big. So, that's nice to know. So, shoot, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure the... where did the ice key land? Oh, hey, look, it's Amy.
I'm so bored. I guess I'll go shopping or something.
Okay, so that gives some context. This is before even Amy's story started. So Big Story started before just about anyone else's. Now, I noticed that the ice crystal landed on a patch of green, so I think it's this way. Let's see now. Oh, almost got hit by a taxi. No big deal. Get it? See what I did there? No big deal. I'm bad at jokes. Hey, nope, this is not it, but this is an opportunity to show something. See this rock here? Well, if we take this rock, oh, by the way, for some reason when Big jumps, he holds stuff right over his head. If we take this rock here and go into this little store, as you can see here, there is a gold egg on display. Now let's set this rock down real quick and take the gold egg. As you see, it's pressure sensitive. Time goes on, nothing ever stays there, blah, blah, blah. Now set the gold egg down. Take the rock, if I can pick it up. No, not that. There we go, pick it up. And set the rock down on the pressure pad, the door will open, and we have a gold egg that we can just walk out with and take to the Chow Garden to get the golden Chow. Probably the hardest one to get, which isn't saying much. So, yeah, we now have... I have now shown the golden Chow, the silver Chow, and the black Chow, the 3 rare Chow for this game. Now I can basically stop talking about Chow from now on. And I actually have no idea where the ice stone spawns, because I know it spawns somewhere different for Big.
Use the ice stone in the mystic ruins.
Shoot, I have no idea what it is. I'm gonna look around for it for a bit. Alright, as embarrassing as this is, I couldn't find the ice stone, so I actually got out my copy of the official strategy guide for this game and looked up where it was, because I actually forgot it. It's right back here. I could have sworn I saw green grass near it, but I guess I'm just blind. So, we've got the ice stone, so we know where this goes in the Mystic Ruins. This will be leading us to our next action stage, which I'm pretty sure you can guess what it is. Was that just a kid with a mustache? Okay, no, he had sunglasses on. I thought that was a kid with a black mustache. That would have been awesome. But no, just a kid with sunglasses, probably just thinking he's cool. Oh, I forgot. There's one emblem I would like to show. For some reason, I have a tradition of always getting this emblem as Big. Now, if we go up here, and if I can do this correctly... Nope, nope. Give me a minute, I'm going to get this done. There we go. Made it up here. Now if you get up here, go along here, and over this way, there's an emblem to be had. Big is the most difficult character to get this with, so I always like to have a personal challenge of getting up here with Big. It took me a minute to get the angle just right to jump onto that platform, but it is entirely possible, and the ice stone disappeared. I'm gonna have to go get it again. Yay! Still, you can get that with any character whatsoever if you want to, but it's a lot easier to get with flying characters like Tails and Knuckles, and even Sonic is a lot easier to get it with because he can jump a lot higher. Amy is probably the second most difficult, and our last character, which we have not yet played as, is also pretty easy to get it with. But I always like to get it with Big just because it's a nice challenge to have, but now that that's over, we got the ice stone back. For some reason it disappeared when I set it down. I didn't know it did that. I guess that's because I never really set it down before. Still, we just gotta move on this way and head over to the Mystic Ruins. No time to waste. For some reason, Froggy has somehow made it to the Mystic Ruins with us chasing him. I wish it were a bit more clear about that. I don't know why, but I don't know. For some reason, we're going to the Mystic Ruins now. Oh, and for some reason, it skipped the cutscene of the rock falling, but I heard it, so that's kind of weird. Still, the rock's open there. Let's go ahead and take the ice stone inside. Now, there's something I could go get now. Nah, I'll go ahead and do the ice cap first, then I'll go get that. So, one thing I should mention is that Big Story is, I want to say, the second shortest of the bunch, which, thank God for that, I wish we're the shortest. I don't know, maybe I'm just hating too much on Big. I mean, Big's not a terrible character, I mean, he's kind of interesting. But he's... he doesn't feel like he belongs as a playable character in a Sonic game. I mean, in one of the later Sonic games, namely Sonic Heroes, he's a lot more interesting. But here, he's just not. Also, as you can see, we have this giant thing of water, and Big can't jump as high as most characters. So if we actually go into this water... Well, actually, no, I'm wrong. For some reason, I thought you couldn't get across this. I always thought that as a kid. Which is why we now have this item, our next item as Big.
You've discovered the life belt. It keeps you afloat when you're in water. To swim underwater, press the jump button when afloat.
So yes, this is yet another optional item that's not required for Big Story, is the life belt. If you jump into water, you float. And the thing that's actually useful about this is you can still fish while you're afloat. And if you hold down A, you sink. So, yeah, it's kind of nice. It's just a little convenience item to have for Big. And believe me, it helps a lot when trying to catch fish. I like this. It's probably my favorite item you can get for Big. Also, funnily enough, Big is the fastest one to climb ladders. I find that hilarious. Especially with the way he says, "duh," as he goes up. It's just hilarious to me. So,
Use the boulders to break the ice.
yes. So, just like we can lift a car, we can lift these giant boulders. As you see, there's not really any water here, just a bunch of ice. So, if we look around here for a ways, we can see there's a little spot that's cracked. Okay, this has ice physics. I forgot about that. So, if we just go ahead and... Okay, not set it down. I want to get some momentum going and throw it. Did that do it? Yes, that did get it. So now we can fish in here. However, if you go down here, if I remember correctly... Oh no, this is the one where Froggy is. I stand correct on that. But, also there's these bubbles under here that can help you last for longer. You don't want to catch Froggy immediately. What you want to do is go a bit further through here and come up around here. Now, I hope there's one of those bubbles nearby. There's not. You can see there's an item on the other side of there. The only item that's in an action stage in this entire game. Now, if you go through there, that'll get you out of the water. There's a convenient area to get out. Now, how do we get that item box, you may ask? Or not item, but just item. Well, we have to go up through those, I believe. Or is it the next pool of water? I admit my memory's a bit spotty on this, and unfortunately the camera is not cooperating on this. So, the one thing I really hate about the life belt is you have to sink in order to jump out of the water. You can't jump while in water anymore, is the kind of annoying thing with it. Still, let's try jumping onto this spring. There we go. This gets us to the highest area in the level. Now, if we pick this up and throw it at that bit of ice, now we can go down here, where you can see the bones of where that item was. And we get here for our next lure power-up, which we actually automatically float up, and there's nothing I can do about that. I find that kind of hilarious, actually, how it just... There's no cutscene there, yet it forces you to stop moving as if there were a cutscene. I don't know, I just find that funny. Also, the music just stopped there because I was about to drown. Still, this isn't technically the highest spot on the stage, but it's the highest spot with water in the stage. And you can get the only item that's in an action stage, as I said. Now, the lures are useful, again, when you're going to be going after the big fish, like for the... Oh, whoops, I did not mean to go in here. What's down here? I don't remember this. They're useful for catching bigger fish. Some fish just won't chase after your lure unless you have a big enough lure. So, getting the lure power-ups is useful if you're trying to go 100% in the games, and a speed boost on Big, that's useful. For some reason, there's a lot of exploration to be done, mainly in this level. Most of the levels don't have hardly any exploration at all. Also, you know, oh no, I can't cast off cliffs, I forgot. So, there's a lot of items to be found in this level, and I'm actually going to not bother picking those up. I mean, they might be useful, but whatever, I don't really care all that much. I just want to get through Big Story as fast as possible. Still, oddly enough, they give you the life belt, and this is one of the least useful stages for you to have it in. There's one later on that it's extremely useful for, but since you just have to cast into this tiny hole, it's not really useful. So, Froggy's in here. I'm going to once again cut ahead until we find Froggy. Alright. I have Froggy in my sights, and I want to mention you'll get his attention if you tease him. Once he bites on, just hit... Ah, I messed it up. I always have trouble hooking Froggy. What you gotta do is you gotta hit A, I believe is the trick to it. You just gotta hit A and hold A once he grabs on, and try not to move the control stick. You can actually make him stop biting if you let go of the control stick, which is useful if you're trying to not catch Froggy and catch something that's nearby Froggy, in case you're trying to actually get 100% on this, which I'm not, because it's a Sonic game. I don't think I'm ever going to 100% a Sonic game in my life. So, cutting ahead again. Okay, no, wait a minute, I got it mixed up. Honestly, I don't remember how to catch a fish. I'm just kind of experimenting on how to. I thought it was hold A, but no, I remember now. You have to flick the control stick a bit without pressing A. That's the trick to it. See, I didn't even touch A there, and I was able to catch Froggy. Now let's get him in and be done with this stage. And I believe after this point we'll be halfway done with Big Story, so yeah. And we lost Froggy again. So, yeah, that's another stage of Big Story done with. As you see, nothing really interesting has happened thus far.
Not too bad.
So, yeah, I'm guessing you're starting to see why I don't like Big Story all that much. It's loaded with items that you don't really want unless you're 100%ing. It's awkward to play it slow. Ugh, I just don't like it. But, once again, it's nighttime in the Mystic Ruins, as this is a rare event. Let's go ahead and get across this bit of water, and continue on in the next episode. I could probably do all of Biggs in maybe half an hour episode, considering everything I'm cutting out. But I'm going to spread it out a little bit. So, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. And next time we'll be continuing along with Big's story and trying to catch Froggy. See you guys then.